Coping with a rare heart defect, this toddler in Lee County is dealing with a condition that affects as few as 10,000 people in the United States. Wait News anchor Channing Frampton explains the defect and takes a look at the family's response to the devastating diagnosis.
It was heartbreaking. It was, something that we had never thought would ever happen.
Alexandra Frost's baby Emerson was born with a congenital heart defect almost 2 years ago called
Congenitally corrected transposition of the great arteries,
or CCTGA for short. It's a condition where the heart's lower half is reversed, like you see here. And what causes something like that?
They don't know, honestly. They picked it up in our ultrasound at our 20-week anatomy scan.
The Adult Congenital Heart Association says it's unclear what causes this condition, and more research needs to be done to figure out how it starts.
It's really difficult.
While some infants die because of this defect, other patients can live into old age with the condition.
I'm super thankful because I've just seen so many babies that, have congenital heart defects that are, super, super ill.
The most common problems associated with the defect are heart rhythm problems, valve problems, and heart failure. Right now, Frost's concern?
My biggest fear was for her oxygen to start dropping because I knew that that means closer and closer to her heart operation that she'll have to have.
An operation that should correct that problem and keep this 2-year-old full of energy going for years to come. In Lee County, Channing Frampton, Wink News Now.
All new at 6, a Lee County toddler is living with a very rare congenital heart defect. She will eventually have to have open heart surgery to fix the problem. Wait News anchor Channing Frampton looks into the cost of this medical problem and how the family is coping.
It's a constant every day, in the back of my head. I know that in the next probably year, she'll need a major open heart surgery.
Alexandra Frost is talking about her nearly 2-year-old baby Emerson, born with a heart defect that as few as 10,000 people in the United States have.
She's just, that vivacious, determined little girl.
And they're hoping to be ready for that surgery in about 6 months because it isn't cheap.
I think anything that comes her way, she can take and get through.
Researchers found the average cost for a child to have congenital heart surgery is nearly $100,000.
I'm thankful that, we haven't spent months and months in the hospital. I know a lot of families do.
The Center for Disease Control and Prevention says in the United States, the estimated medical care costs for an average infant with any congenital heart defect was about $23,000. Infants with more severe cases cost families even more.
In addition, the American Heart Association says mothers who have babies with heart defects are at a higher risk for heart disease themselves later in life.
It's something that, I'm not as surprised about because of all the stress and worry.
Which could only add to this family's medical costs in the decades ahead. In Lee County, Channing Frampton, Wink News Now.